Hey everyone, welcome to Pink Tutu Tarot. So today's reading is a look at your future self. So I've already done the readings. I've pulled one card from each reading just to give you just tiniest taste, little insight so that maybe, hopefully, it will help you decide which reading to listen to. So let's take a look. Group 1. Your card is number 4, Snow Angel. The signs are with you already. That's group 1. Group 2 is card number 8, and it says, Grumpy Red Fairy, be your true self. And lastly, group 3, your card is card number 2, Fairy of the Divine Hand, Intoxication, Distorted View, Overindulgence. Okay. 3 very distinct readings, so take your time, pick the card that speaks to you. You can go down to the description box, click on the timestamp for the group you want to watch, and the timestamp will take you right there. And thank you so much, y'all. Hey, group 1. Okay, we are going to take a look at your future self. See what Spirit sees with your future self. See what you have going on, what things look like, where your life is headed. I've got some oracle cards. I've got some tarot. So we'll get a nice full picture of your future self. Okay. All right. Your first card is... it's card number 1, Day and Night. And if you're ever interested in the cards that I use in my readings, I put them all down below in the description box so you can see all the cards I use in case you want to get some for yourself. Second card is card number 4. It says Snow Angel. The signs are with you already. And last one is Choice. Okay. All right, let's get some tarot cards out. As we get started, hopefully the reading will resonate and you'll watch it through to the end. If it's not resonating at the beginning, you feel like this is not your reading, check out one of the other groups. If you're not sure, I always recommend watching, because a lot of times you're brought to a reading to get messages that you aren't expecting. So you might be surprised that a message comes through, even if it isn't entirely your reading. And of course, if you're looking for a personal reading, you can book a reading with me on my website at pinktututarot.com. And that's all down below in the description box. All right, your first card is the Emperor reversed. Do you want to take that card or no? Sometimes when cards flip out, they want me to use them. Sometimes they don't. Mostly they just tell me when to stop. Okay. We have 3 of Pentacles reversed. We have Page of Wands reversed. And one more, please, Spirit. Is this it? No, okay. And the Star. And we're going to pull one more as advice from Spirit. Okay. All right. All right, and the advice is Queen of Swords in reverse. Okay. Give me just a second. I just want to take all this in, see if I get any initial messages for you, and then we're going to talk about what's going on here. You're saying things are not going the way you want right now. You have ideas and dreams and goals that you want to achieve. But it's not working. It's what they're showing me is somebody who's like trying to get through this door and that door shuts, trying to get through this door and that door shuts, trying to get through this door and that door shuts. They're saying you're not finding a way out. And so you're feeling just a little bit stuck. But you're not letting go of your dreams, which is a good thing. You've got to keep going. But there's a strategy here that Spirit's going to help with to help you get there. You're saying first things first. Know what you want and do not waver. Don't second guess yourself. Don't wonder if it's the right thing. Trust that it is, or you wouldn't want it so badly. That's how the universe works. You know, this isn't a fleeting thing that you want, right? Not if we're looking at your future self. This is something you've been wanting for a long time and are working toward and dreaming about and manifesting. So you have to stay strong in your beliefs that this is going to happen. Might not happen the way you think it's going to happen, or in the time frame you think it's going to happen. But you'll see that what you are dreaming of is going to happen, is going to come to fruition. They're saying it's not going to be everything you want, it's going to be everything you need. But there's more than you could ever dream of. So don't worry that, like, when they say it's not going to be everything you want, it doesn't mean it's going to be less than what you want. It's not going to be less. It's going to be more. But some things will be different. Because their job is to not just give you what you want, but to give it to you in a package that is also what you need. And so those come together like that. Okay. All right. Well, let's start with the tarot cards here. Your first card is the Emperor reversed. This is where you are right now. Okay? They're saying, take this as it resonates. They're saying you're in a job you hate. Hate might be a strong word. Some days you hate it. Some days you like it. Some days you love it. Most days it feels like you're banging your head against the wall and not getting anywhere. Okay? Anything else on the spirit? They're saying you're not in control where you are. They're saying you lack control. And they're saying you lack control and feasibility. What do you mean by feasibility? You're not able to do the things you want to do and do them the right way or the way that you think they should be done. It's a hard energy for you to work within because you recognize how things should go, how they should be. And it's like a tug of war trying to get what you need out of the system and from your boss or bosses. They're saying, Spirit is saying, they, meaning your boss or bosses, they know what, they know what you need. They just can't get it to you or give it to you right now. And it doesn't seem to be a high priority for them. It does feel like they'll get there. But the truth is you've got other ideas anyway, right? Other plans and goals beyond this particular job. Okay? All right. Then we have the Three of Pentacles. This is what you're working toward, your goals, what you want to achieve. Spirit is saying that with this Three of Pentacles in reversed, you really want to be your own boss. Typically the Three of Pentacles upright doesn't show it so well in this particular card. But it's typically working with others. There's usually three people. One may be the expert, the other's consulting. Different ways to read the Three of Pentacles, but in reverse, you're wanting to run your own show. Do your own thing. Be your own boss. Call the shots yourself. You want to build something. Hold on. You want to build something for yourself. Okay. And if you notice on this card, it is the petals on the flower are like bricks. And this person is building something. But instead of building something for someone else, for a company that you work for, you want to build something for yourself. Okay. All right. Then we have the Page of Wands in reverse. This is in the position of what is going to change for you. Talk to me, Spirit, about this. You're saying you're going to seek advice from an unprecedented source. What does that mean? Somebody you haven't gotten advice from before. Okay? And they're going to give you a message. Pages are messengers. You know, there's several meanings of the Page of Wands. One of them, all of the pages are considered messengers. Okay. So you're going to seek advice from an unprecedented source, someone you haven't gotten advice from in the past. They're going to help you and guide you. And they're going to give you a message. What is the message? Okay. Okay. The message, in essence, is that you can't get there from here. In other words, the track that you're on, the way you're going at it, what you're doing or where you are, can't get you where you want to go. Not really. So you're going to have to make some bigger changes within yourself. They're saying not externally, which is why the Page of Wands is reversed. This is an internal message of advice. Okay. You're saying you're going to need to change how you do things from the inside out. Change how you talk to yourself, change how you think. You're going to have to also change your routines, change the way you do things. Like, if you're already pursuing this goal, if you're already working on it in some way, maybe it's a side hustle, right? That you're trying to grow into your own business. You're going to have to change the way you do it in order to make it work for your best interest, but also for the sake of your customers or your clients. Yeah, they're just saying you're going to need to change how you do things. Is it a new... Yeah, they're saying a new direction. Anything else you want to say about that, Spirit? Okay. They're saying how you look at things will change. And that's going to change everything. And if you notice on this card, I'll put it up right because it's easier to see, but the page is looking through a big magnifying glass. How you look at things is going to change. You're going to see things differently. And when you do, your routines will change, your mindset will change. Like, the impetus that is going to create the changes you need to get you on the right path, it will happen when you change, when you change the way you see, when you change what you look at and how you see it and how you perceive it. Interesting. Okay. We're going to pull some more cards, so we'll get into more detail. All right. So the last card here represents your future self. It's a beautiful card. It's the Star. The Star card is filled with hope. It's filled with experience on such a high level that it incorporates everything you've learned up to this point. What do you want to say about this, Spirit? You're saying you're going to be recognized. for how you do what you do. It's what you're trying to do or going to be doing is not going to be different from what other people do. Other people do it, but it's in the how you do it is going to be different. And others are going to see that and acknowledge your unique ability or your unique gift or your unique business, your unique idea. It's different. It's the same, but you do it differently. And that's what makes it different. And that's what gets you the recognition that will take you to the top. They're saying skyrocket. They're saying shoot for the stars. That's where you belong. So shoot for the stars. You have a unique ability, a unique gift, a unique idea. You're going to carry it through. And you're going to be really successful at it. Really successful. The flip happens. You go from struggling and frustrated to, trying to get it to happen. The flip happens. The switch happens. Like the door opens when you change the way you see things. When you change what you look at and how you perceive it. Okay. Let's get some more cards. We'll clarify these cards. See what else Spirit can tell us about this. We'll look at the advice and then we'll talk about these other cards up here. All right, we have the Eight of Pentacles reversed. We have the Two of Pentacles. Knight of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. Okay, and we're going to pull one more for the advice. Yeah, one more card just to clarify the advice. I know we haven't talked about it yet, but let's go ahead and clarify it while we have the cards in our hands, right? Well, I have the cards in my hands. And Page of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so where you are now, the Emperor reversed, Eight of Pentacles reversed. This is just you really wanting to break out of that mold of your job, wanting to try something new, really wanting to get out of where you are. You're kind of over it. You really are kind of over it. Some days you're okay. And it's not like they don't like you. They like you. They value you. They think you're great. You just kind of can't take it anymore. It's a situation that doesn't serve you anymore. And you have big goals and big dreams and big ideas. And that's really where you need to, move toward. So, your goals and ideas. 3 of Pentacles reversed, 2 of Pentacles. You want to work for yourself. You want to create your own business. You want to do your own thing. But with the 2 of Pentacles, you think you can do them both, right? Working at the job, working the side hustle, juggling them both. Spirit's saying you're not going to be able to do it. We understand you wanting to, because there is a money concern to walk away from a paying job. It's a risk, right? It's a risk to go off on your own and expect to make a living from it. You want to make sure you have some money saved. But don't be overly concerned about finances. And please, y'all understand this is not coming from me. Don't get mad at me. This is Spirit talking. I get the messages. I give the messages. I don't make them. I don't create them. But if this reading is yours, and you know it in your gut if it is, Spirit is saying, trust. They're saying trust. You're going to be able to do this. You're going to be fine. Things will be lean for a while. They'll be tight for a while because you're trying to save money while you work on making money. But you don't have to scrimp. You don't have to sacrifice. And you don't have to stay where you are and try to juggle. You'll know when the time is right. The time will come when you are ready. But what? They're saying don't hold on for the sake of money. Because you're sacrificing a piece of yourself. By hanging onto a job that you're that unhappy with because of money. And I understand we all need money to survive. They're saying money will come. You're going to get there. Trust, believe. Go after your dreams. You have this one life, right? What are you waiting for? Okay. So what's going to change? Page of Wands reversed, Knight of Wands. You're going to change the way you see things. You're going to change what you look at and how you perceive them, right? That's what we talked about. And then with the Knight of Wands, hold on. What are you saying about the Knight of Wands? They're saying you're going to set your dreams on fire. You're going to go for it. Once you change the way you see things and what you look at and how you perceive them, your entire energy will change. You'll no longer be tiptoeing into something and hoping for the best. Like this cautious energy is what I'm feeling. But you're going to look at things differently. And it's like a switch. And suddenly there is no holding you back. You're on fire. You're going to make a huge impact. on the world, they're saying. On your world, on the world, I'm not sure. But you're going to make a huge impact. And it's going to change your life. It may take some time to get to where you are seeing things, truly seeing things differently, the way you need to see them. Just take it one step at a time until you get there. But when you get there, it's going to happen like that. So your future self, the Star and the Ace of Cups. Spirit is saying first of all, of course, with the Ace of Cups, you're going to be happy. But that's not the message they gave me when I picked this card up. The message they gave me when I picked this card up is you are going to be loved. You're going to have like a fan base. You're going to have people who adore you, who want to be near you, who cherish what you do and how you do it because it's unique. Now this could be on a small scale or a big scale. I don't know. It'll probably be different for everybody watching. But Spirit is kind of giving me like the bigger you believe, the bigger you dream, the higher the stars you shoot for, the bigger the outcome. So don't shoot low. And they're saying you're going to make it rain. If you can see all the water droplets around this cup, you're going to make it rain, being, an expression for making a lot of money. They're saying, we told you, you don't need to worry about the money. The money will come. We promise you. Money is not going to be your downfall. It's not going to be your problem. There are steps you're going to need to take, work you're going to need to do, changes you're going to need to make. But you're not going to be worrying about money. Or you're not going to need to be worrying about money. You might worry anyway, because it's human nature. But Spirit's saying you're fine. Interesting. You're going to be adored, they're saying. People will love you. Okay. All right, let's talk about the advice. We have Queen of Swords reversed and Page of Pentacles reversed. Okay. Hold on one second, y'all. They're telling me something. Bear with my silences. I hear from Spirit. Okay. Your business is not a cut and dry business, is what they're giving me. It is not all facts and figures and sharp edges is kind of what they're giving me. In some way, it is a heart-based business. It's a heart-based endeavor. This is something you care about deeply. And other people care about it. So they're wanting you to not look at things from the Queen of Swords perspective. The Queen of Swords looks at the future and says, she's very matter of fact about it. She does look at the future, but she's very matter of fact about it. Very cut and dry. What's in it for me? What's the take? It's very, it feels kind of hard and cold, right? It feels very businessy, right? There's nothing wrong with, focusing on like what's in it for you, but for your goals, your dream, what you're going after, they want you to come at it from the heart. not from the brain. This happens, this star and this Ace of Cups, this skyrocketing to the top, this cherishing what you do and being cherished for what you do and loved. There's so much love and passion around this that it can't come from a place of what's in it for me. What's in it for you will come, but you've got to come at it from a place that starts in your heart. And then we have the Page of Pentacles reversed. Again, even though this is a business and you want to make money, of course you do, and you deserve to, and you will. Don't make it about the money. Make it about the message. Make it about the service. Make it about what you care about. And honestly, if what you care about, if your big goal, if all you're thinking about is how much money can I make, truthfully, this probably is not your reading. Because you will make a lot of money. You're going to be set for life. But you can't go into it with that mindset. You have to step into your future from a place of love and service and honoring what you do. Like nothing else. Interesting. It's beautiful. All right, let's talk about these oracle cards. Day and night. You're going to see a change in you. Others are going to see a change in you. Over time, yes. But when you get there, when you get here, you're not going to be the same person who is here today, right now. You're already changing. You're already evolving into who you are meant to be. But it's still relatively early in that journey, and you are evolving quickly. And it will be a new you. And they're also saying, don't worry about the darkness. Hang on to the light. Meaning, don't be afraid. Don't fear all the things that could go wrong. Because you are meant to go forward. And yes, there will be challenges and lessons and obstacles and redirections and sometimes changes, but you are not being blocked from this. You are being guided. You are being guided to this, to the star. You're going to get there, but keep your eyes on the light. Then we have Snow Angel. The signs are with you already. Spirit's saying you already know that. You're already seeing signs and getting messages, this maybe being one of them, that you're on the right track, that you're almost ready, that you're going to be on your way soon. They're saying before the next snow falls, you will be on your way. Whether you're in an area that snows or doesn't snow, they're saying before the next snow falls. So take that as it resonates. Depends on when you're watching this video and from where. As I'm recording it, it is July in the United States. It's summertime. They're saying, when you're watching this, the end result is not going to happen that quickly. The movement onto this new path. Right, okay, correct. So you're in a job right now that's frustrating you. You want to get moving. Your every door seems to be shutting. You're trying to get out, but the timing hasn't been right. Spirit is saying before the next snow falls, you will be on your way. How quickly you get to here is partially up to you, but also there are some lessons and experiences that you need to live through in order to get to your future self, right? You can't just snap your fingers and be there, because there are things you are meant to experience along the way. Don't be afraid of the journey. The journey is half the fun. Without the journey, it's just another thing. But with the journey, you have a story and you have something to be proud of. But also the journey is what will shape you and help you become the star that you are destined to become. And then lastly, we have choice. Spirit's saying you're going to make a choice, one way or another. You're not going to be able to juggle. They're saying, but it's more than that. It's more than just choosing your new role, like your new goal over, where you are now. You're making a bigger choice. What is that choice, Spirit? They're saying you're going to make a choice between living a life of calm, content, comfortable, and living a life of creation. Of creative essence. In other words, yes, it's a choice, and there is no judgment in the choice you make. One path will be comfortable, will be predictable, will be enjoyable, will be very nice, calm, content. The other choice is a choice of creation. You're going to create. You're going to be something, create something. And it won't be calm. It won't be comfortable for much of it. When creation is not comfortable, it is, it's like the caterpillar coming out of the chrysalis to become a butterfly. It's not easy, but the rewards are great. You do have a choice. The way Spirit sees it now, this is your result. This is your future self. The star with the Ace of Cups. Love and be loved. Cherishing what you do. And being adored for doing something so important. That's how Spirit sees your future self right now. But, like they're reminding you, you do have a choice. If you don't want to do the work, if you don't want to be uncomfortable, you don't have to be. But it won't result in this. So that would be a different reading because I think Spirit's right. You're going to take the path less traveled. You're going to make something that will change the way it's done for others who follow in your footsteps later. All right, y'all, I hope that was helpful. I hope it gave you some guidance and insight and maybe just an ounce of courage to step out and take a chance towards your goal, and your future self is waiting for you. And your future self is beautiful. So wishing you all the love and luck. Feel free to drop me a comment down below. Let me know what is your goal. I would love to hear about it if you want to share. And if this resonated, I hope you'll give this video a like. And honestly, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey, group 2. Okay, we are going to take a look at your future self. We're going to let Spirit show us kind of along the way where you are now, what you're working toward, and what it will look like in the future for you. So I've got tarot cards for you, but I've also got some oracle cards. We're going to look at those first. So let's see the first few cards. All right, your first card is card number 13, and it says Morning Dew Girl. And she's got, looks like she has she's carrying a leaf, like she had been collecting the dew, the morning dew, to share the next day. Interesting, okay? Your second card, this card always makes me laugh. It's card number 8, Grumpy Red Fairy, Be Your True Self. And the third one is Reflection. Okay, and we'll talk more about what those cards mean for you after we get into the other cards. So let's get some tarot out on the table. And hopefully this reading resonates with you. If it doesn't, try one of the other groups. If you're not sure, I always encourage you to watch. A lot of times there's messages in here that you're meant to hear. Even if everything doesn't resonate, take what does, leave the rest for someone else who may be watching. And certainly if it does resonate, if you do find it helpful, please give it a thumbs up so that YouTube knows that this is a channel that you appreciate, and hopefully it will find its way to other people who need messages as well. And if you're looking for a personal reading, you can book a personal reading on my website, pink22tarot.com. All right, we have the Hanged Man. Okay, you want me to pull all 4? The Page of Wands, Queen of Cups, and King of Wands reversed. And I'm going to pull one more as an advice card. And the advice is King of Pentacles. All right. Okay, give me just a second. I want to take all this in and see if Spirit gives me any initial messages for you before we get started. And then we'll talk about what's going on here, what we're looking at here. Okay. They're saying the message here, their initial message, is about perseverance through difficult times. They're saying you've been through a lot. The road ahead is not necessarily going to be easy for you. There are going to be more challenges to come, as everyone has in their life, right? But for you, the message is about overcoming these challenges through patience and dedication and perseverance. They're saying you can do anything with yourself and with your life if you just slow down. And they're saying, and give us a chance to catch up. In other words, there's divine timing is always in play. When you try to hurry things, when you try to push them forward and get them to manifest in your timeline, you end up coming up against obstacles because the universe is not ready yet. Okay. They're saying save your energy because the road ahead can be long and it can be bumpy and very, very rewarding and adventurous and exciting and fun. Don't waste your energy on trying to force things. Like they're showing me like somebody trying to push a wall, a brick wall. It's not moving. You can't force the universe. You can push things, and force things to budge and move, but it just ends up creating blocks for you. And I think you've experienced that already. But you'll experience more if you don't learn that lesson. Like the quicker you can learn that lesson and just slow down and save your energy for life instead of forcing life, you'll enjoy the ride a lot more. And it will come about more smoothly. Interesting. Okay, let's look at the cards. Your first card is the Hanged Man. This is where you are now. You're waiting. You're actually waiting pretty patiently right now. You know something is on the horizon. You want things to change, but you are currently gathering the energy, gathering the resources, waiting for the right timing, which is great. That's exactly what you should be doing. You'll get a push from the universe when the time is right. If you jump too soon, Spirit is saying it will be too soon. So don't push. Okay. Your goal, what you want to achieve, is the Page of Wands. Spirit is saying that this is actually a mask for what you really want. The Page of Wands is saying you want adventure. You want excitement. You want to do more things, experience more things, go more places. live the high life, not live the high life, like an exciting life. That's at least one of your goals, right? It's one of the things that you want for your life. But Spirit is saying it's a mask. It's covering up this desire for adventure. There's nothing wrong with it. It's great. But this desire for adventure and excitement is actually a mask for what you really want. Spirit, do you want to talk about what it is they really want, or? Okay, we're going to pull more cards and we'll get more information then. But that's something to think about. What needs to change? What needs to happen in order for you to get from here to where you're meant to be, to your future self, is the Queen of Cups. Spirit is saying you need to look at yourself and see, really, really see what makes you happy. Not what you think is going to make you happy, not what others think looks like happiness, not what makes for interesting, social media. What makes you happy? What makes you smile in the morning? What makes you lose track of time? What makes you go to bed feeling like, man, that was a good day? What does that for you? You need to see this and acknowledge it and embrace it in order for you to get through the door to your future self. That's all it takes. It's not Spirit saying it's not a big game. It's not a chess match where you have to make the right moves at the right time and do the right thing. The doors will all open once you really admit what makes you happy and what you really want and need your future to look like. It's an adjustment of your goal. Spirit is saying, you know what you want. You know what makes you happy. But somewhere in there is buried this idea of adventure and excitement that may be part of your goal, but it's not your true goal. So you need to really look at yourself in your life and see that and acknowledge that and embrace it. And once you really own that knowledge, it will change your life for the better, 100% for the better. Okay? So your future self, the King of Wands in reverse. Spirit saying, your future self, you're not going to be the fire setter. The one who charges forward, makes all these changes in your life, makes all these changes in your world, and then zips off to the next thing. Full of, fire and energy and excitement, but no substance. There's not a lot of substance. That, Spirit is saying, is kind of your image of what you think your future self will look like. But it's not even really who you are. And so it's not who your future self is going to be. Okay, so we know what the future self is not going to be. What can you tell us about what their future self will be, Spirit? saying your future self will be full of energy and excitement, but on a different plane. It's not going to be adrenaline rushing, like adventures. Not that there won't be some of that in your life, but it won't be who you are. You will be on a completely different plane. You will be doing something that sets your heart on fire. Not just your feet, if that makes sense. And it won't be something that you do one day and then go try something else and then go try something else and then, which is a little bit how I feel your life is now, or has been up to this point. You do something for a while and you throw your whole self into it and you do it and then it loses steam and you move on to something else. And that goes on and on and on. So you've done a lot of things, been a lot of places, tried a lot of things. You maybe have had a bunch of different jobs and different roles in life, lived in lots of different places. Take what resonates there, but your future self, Spirit is saying, is going to be more about the fire in your heart and the excitement and the adventure of living your life on a different plane. I'm not sure I understand what that means, different plane. Yeah, they're saying it's a whole different world for you. It's something that makes your heart sing. And if you know what it is now and you're kind of pushing it to the side, Spirit's saying, stop doing that. This is who you are. And I do get a sense that you do sort of know what it is. And you think that this thing that you love will lead to this life of adventure. It's what will get you there. But that's not it at all. This thing that you love is the adventure. It's everything you're looking for. And right at this moment, you just maybe don't know that. Okay. All right, let's get a few more cards. Let's get a little more information here from Spirit. Very interesting reading. I don't know if y'all know how I read, but I read the tarot cards, but I hear Spirit in my ear and in my head. So they tell me what to say, and they give me messages to share. And so, but I've been reading cards for a long, long time. And so when I look at the cards, a lot of times I have a very good idea. I could see the flow of it. I understand what your reading is about. And a lot of times that is dead on, but sometimes what they tell me is a completely different angle than what I anticipated. And it's always very exciting to me when I read. So if you're ever looking and kind of scrutinizing the cards and going, well, that's not what that card means. I get it. Sometimes I know that too. They take their own liberties with the cards sometimes. Always keeping to the essence of the card, but they give it their own spin that makes, frankly, it makes the reading, I feel like, more accurate, more personal. Even though this is a general reading, I feel like they really help get right to the heart of things. So let me know if you agree, of course. Drop me a note down below if you agree with that, but that's sort of my take. All credit goes to Spirit. I'm just the voice. Okay, we have the Devil reversed, Four of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles reversed, and the High Priestess. Interesting. Okay. And we'll pull one more card for your advice. We haven't talked about the advice yet, but we will, and we'll just get this card out of the way now. Six of Swords reversed. Okay. So, where you are now, the Hanged Man and the Devil reversed. Spirit's saying you are sensing that there is this need to wait and a need to detach from certain aspects of your life, to not feel bound by them, to not feel triggered by them, and to be patient and to wait for Spirit's go ahead. So really, like, you're in really good energy right now. It's not that you're doing anything wrong or that you're in the wrong place. Like, you've got it right. Your intuition, your gut is telling you, be patient, wait for the right time, let go of expectations, let go of needs and fears and anything else that you are attached to right now, and just open yourself up to Spirit and to the universe to guide you. The challenge comes with what it is that you are actually hoping to achieve, your actual goal. Like I said, we have the Page of Wands, and then we have the Four of Pentacles reversed. There's going to be a tendency for you, even after hearing this reading, to not believe the reading, not believe the reading, but to still think, but that adventure, that excitement really is what I want. It really is what makes me happy. It really is what gives my life excitement and meaning and happiness. Spirit's saying you're going to struggle to let go of that a little bit, or you may struggle to let go of that a little bit. Spirit's saying it's okay. Hang on to that dream for now, if that's what helps propel you forward when the time comes. It's okay to hang on to that right now. But know this. Spirit's saying, we know this is just a mask for what your soul really wants and what you as a person really want. You're just, you haven't experienced it yet in its full form and glory. You maybe have had a taste of this thing. You surely have had a taste of this thing that makes you happy, but you haven't experienced it in its full glory. And so you can't quite recognize yet how amazing it's going to be to embrace your life around that thing. And so right now you're focusing on really what you think you want for the rest of your life. And that's okay. That will change. And when it does, doors will open for this new life, for your future self to emerge. So, again, what needs to change? Queen of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Again, like I said, you have to really, the day will come when you look at your life and you look at yourself and go, I know what I want. This is what I want. Really acknowledge and see what your heart is telling you. And then this stubbornness, right? This Four of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles in reverse, where you're stuck and you're not moving because you think you know what you want and you're hanging on to that. You're going to let that go. Yeah, you're going to let that go. And you're going to open your heart and your mind and your soul to what really, really is going to make your life, give your life the meaning and the happiness and excitement that you're hoping for, is just in a different form than you think it's going to be, or that you think you want it to be right now. Will you still go on adventures and, maybe you like to travel, maybe you like to go places and see new things and meet new people? Will you still do that? Of course. If you love doing that, that should be a part of your life. But should that be, or is that the goal of your soul in this lifetime? Yes and no. It's one of them. It's not the big one. It's not the big one. The big one will open up when you're ready to really acknowledge how you want your future self, your future life, what you want that to look like, how you want it to be. So your future self, King of Wands reversed, High Priestess. You're going to let go of this need to go, change, innovate, just always, tweaking the gears and, running off to the next thing. You're going to pay more attention to the fire in your heart. And it's going to give your life inspiration and motivation and happiness, but also stability. The High Priestess is bringing into your future self a sense of spirituality. You are going to acknowledge your spiritual side in a much, much bigger way. Your future self will find fire and anchor in spirituality, is what they're saying. In other words, when you find this piece of yourself, and it will involve some form of spirituality in some way, you will not only be lit up, right? You will be excited and motivated and charged and on fire, right? But it will also anchor your life. You will no longer be chasing after the next thing, trying to find that thing that brings your life joy and brings your life meaning. That thing that sustains your passion. This is it. Spirit is saying, and maybe this will resonate with all of you, maybe it won't. Take it if it does. But for those of you who this video, you're watching it and this feels like, this is for you. If you've stuck around this long, I'm sure it does. Your future self looks like some kind of healer, teacher, spiritual guide, here on earth, life coach, someone who understands, and you already do this, right? Understands the energy around you, the energy of other people, the energy of situations, and you are able to manipulate that energy in some way. Now, could this be in an actual spiritual practice? Sure. Psychic, medium, Reiki practitioner, yoga instructor even, some kind of healer. But it could also be a psychologist, psychiatrist, a life coach, a teacher. Someone who helps mold the energy and prepare the future for others on a much higher plane, right? Your life will be on a much higher plane than where what you're thinking right now that your life should or would be. It's really beautiful energy. Like, I can see and feel your future self, and I'm a little bit in awe of it. So don't shy from it. You may not be ready to hear it yet or to embrace it yet, but hopefully someday, if you're not ready right now, you'll remember this, and someday those doors will open. Okay, so the advice from Spirit. We have the King of Pentacles and the Six of Swords reversed. The advice is, be still. Plant yourself. Give yourself a chance to become who you're meant to be. When you're always chasing after the next high, right? Meaning the next thing that sets you on fire, that gets you excited. When you're always chasing after that thing, you're always hoping that thing will be everything for you. But you never stay in one place long enough, or in one mindset long enough, or on one task long enough to really feel it out and experience it. The energy starts to fade, and so you toss it and you move on to the next thing. It's that high of the startup high, right? Of believing anything can happen, and then you put it into, it comes to fruition and you put it into the works, and maybe it doesn't happen quick enough, maybe it doesn't, whatever. And it just sort of fades and you move on to the next thing. It's this wand energy, right? This fire energy that has you always chasing after the next adventure, the next exciting thing. Spirit wants you to stay put. Give your soul a chance to recognize what your true path is, where your true happiness lies. Don't fight it. Don't be in such a hurry to move forward toward the wrong thing. Not the wrong thing, but not the right thing. You know what I mean? Okay. All right, let's talk about your oracle cards. Reflection. I mean, that certainly resonates with everything they gave us here for your reading. Take the time. Really take the time to think about what makes you happy. Maybe don't even imagine what your future life will look like. Because Spirit is saying that you haven't experienced this thing in all its glory yet. And so you can't imagine that this thing is going to be enough, right, to fuel your life. So maybe just focus on what you really enjoy. Write it down in a journal. Keep notes. When you do something or experience something, there's some part of your life that really makes you smile, makes you happy, makes you feel alive, makes you feel accomplished, makes time just stop, right? Pay attention to that. Grumpy Red Fairy, be your true self. Spirit's saying you're not acknowledging your true self right now. They're saying, look at the red in her hair, right? That fire in her eyes. I'm going to hold it up for you. It's a little bit like you're addicted to that, right? You're addicted to not addicted, that's probably the wrong word, but you are drawn like a magnet to the adventurous side of life. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's awesome. but how do you turn your life into something more meaningful and purpose-driven and still experience the same level of passion and excitement? You do that by reflecting and discovering who you truly are. They're saying with the grumpy red fairy, they're not saying you're grumpy, don't worry. But they're saying that this instability in your life of always chasing something different, going after something different, looking for accomplishment and happiness in different places, it's always going to be unfulfilling for you. Maybe even make you a little grumpy, who knows? But it doesn't lead to happy, which is the point. What does lead to truly being happy is finding what you are actually passionate about and pursuing that with everything you have. Or just being open to it and letting spirit guide you, lead you there. All right, so the last card we have is Morning Dew Girl. Patience. Patience is what they're saying. You have to have patience. You know, this girl standing there with her leaf overnight, collecting the dew that, drips down off of, the flowers and into this leaf. It takes patience, and it takes a knowing of what you're doing and why and how to get there, right? If she wasn't holding the leaf in just the way that she is, all the water would spill out. If she wasn't still so that the water could collect, it would just dissipate in the sun very quickly. And then, of course, water represents our heart space, our happiness, our joy in life. She's collecting happiness through her patience, through her stillness, through understanding what needs to be done. She's collecting happiness. And then what does she do with it? I mean, that's up to you. My guess is this girl is going to keep plenty, more than enough happiness for herself, but also share that happiness with others who need it. Knowing that the next morning there will be more. There will always be more. Wow, y'all. Very interesting reading. Like, honestly, this surprised me. So very interesting. I would love to know your thoughts. Drop some comments down below if you feel called to do that. I would love to know what you're thinking and how this resonated with you. And of course, if it did resonate, I hope you'll like the video so that YouTube knows that other people may find my channel, my videos worth seeing, and other people will get the messages they need as well. So thank you for being here, y'all. I appreciate your watching most of all and being here, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye, y'all. Hey, group 3. Okay, we are going to take a look at, sorry, I think I just hit the camera. We're going to take a look at your future self, or at least how spirit sees your future self. So I've got some oracle cards we're going to look at. I've got some tarot cards, and we'll get a real deep detailed look for you. All right, so let's start with your oracle cards. Okay, your first card is card number 33, and it says Weaving Flowers. Then we have card 2. It says Fairy of the Divine Hand, Intoxication, Distorted View, Overindulgence. And last one is Centering. And I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like there's a fairy woman, and she's sort of balancing on like the frame of a mirror is what it looks like to me. All right. Well, we'll know more about what those mean for your reading after we get some more cards on the table. So let's start with your tarot. All right, your first card is the Star reversed. And we have the Seven of Swords reversed. We have the Knight of Swords reversed. And one more. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles. And I'm going to pull one more card just as advice from Spirit. And the advice is Nine of Swords reversed. All right. Okay, give me just a sec. I want to take these in, see if I get any initial messages from Spirit, and then we'll talk about what's going on here. Okay. All right, well, this is going to be a very, very specific reading. So you should probably know really quickly if this is meant for you or not. Spirit is saying, just kind of giving some information about you, so you know if this resonates. You have been, if this is your reading, you have been through the ringer and back. You, at least on the surface, you have had more challenges than most, more than your fair share, it seems. They're saying to me substance abuse or some other kind of addiction has plagued you in the past. And you're in a place now where you're wanting to overcome the addiction side of things and to thrive, right? What else did you want to say, Spirit? Spirit's saying that you can see a future self for yourself. You can imagine a better life, just a more successful, fulfilling. I'm not saying you're not successful. What are we trying to say, Spirit? Yeah, they're saying you're reaching for the stars and you feel like so far you've sort of fallen short. But you can see a better future for yourself. Spirit is acknowledging that, but what they're saying is that you can't imagine the full extent of it. Like what you imagine as your future self is just a tiny piece, a tiny droplet of what you can achieve and what is meant for you. So don't give up. Okay, all right. So from there, let's talk about the cards. Your first card is the Star reversed. This represents you where you are right now. Spirit is saying the words fallen from grace. So take that if it resonates. What they mean by that is you may have been on top of your game. You may have had a good life. You may have had all the things that everybody, says they want. The house, the car, the good job, the status, whatever it is for you. But then you fell into some hard times and sort of lost it all, or most of it. You're not feeling successful. Spirit's saying you don't want to show your face. Is that true? I hope that's not true. I mean, everybody goes through difficult times. And there's no shame in going through a difficult time. It's part of life. The only shame is in not getting back up. And that's what you're doing. You're getting back up. Spirit's saying you do believe in yourself. You know what you have accomplished in the past and what you can accomplish again. But you've been struggling. And the struggling has led to, they're saying substance abuse. I like to lean more towards like overindulgence or, but they're saying no. So whether this is alcohol, drugs, it could be another type of addiction as well. But that's really where they're leaning. So for most of you watching, if this resonates, that piece should resonate. There may be others of you where that piece doesn't resonate, and that's okay. Take what does and leave the rest for someone else who needs that specific message. Spirit's saying you're feeling a little bit lost. They're saying you don't know which way is up right now. You've been down in the dark, down in the dumps for kind of too long. That climbing out feels like a really hard task. You know you can do it. I feel that in you, like you've got this spark in you. But you also know it's going to be hard and has been hard. Okay. All right. So the next card represents your goal, what you want to achieve. And your card is the Seven of Swords reversed. Spirit's saying you want to get back in the game. You want to be back on top. You sort of fell away from your world and all the trappings that it held, all the beautiful things and the trappings and the assets and the accolades. You sort of slipped from there, disappeared from there. But you want to come back. That is your goal. To make it back to who you were, where you were, what you were. Okay. All right, so what needs to change? The Knight of Swords in reverse represents what needs to change in order for you to reach not just your goal, but to become the future self that you are destined to be. Spirit is really okay. Spirit is saying what needs to change for you. This is an odd message. Please don't shoot the messenger. But they're saying you need to not talk so much. You talk a good game. You share your confidences. You share your battle scars. You share your wounds and your stories with others. And Spirit's saying that's sort of where things get stuck. Because you have been through a lot. Like, there's no question. You've been through a war and back just in your own life. And yes, it does help to talk those things out. They're not negating that. What they're saying is, when it goes from just talking something out to being like the story you tell, it's all, again, don't shoot the messenger, but it almost feels like a brag. Everything you've been through. And not to say you shouldn't be proud of what you've been through, but something about like exalting the battle keeps you in the battle. And you need to rise above the battle. Talk about your successes. The ones from the past, but also the ones in the future that you just haven't seen yet. Talk about what you're going to do. Not to say you shouldn't be proud of pulling yourself out of a hard time. That piece is great. It's reveling in and re-experiencing the hard times. As if, I'm trying to find the right way to say this. Spirit's saying, just say it. All right. Just don't brag about rock bottom, I guess. And I know you probably don't see it as bragging, so that's why I hesitate to say the words, but that's what they're giving me. Rock bottom is a great place to have climbed up from. And that is something to brag about. But what goes on at rock bottom isn't. And it's an experience. I'm not saying, share it with people if it's in a spirit of helping them rise up out. But when it's shared as if it's a good story, just be careful about that. Not that trust me, this is not coming from me. This is coming from Spirit. But even Spirit is not judging any of this. All they're saying is, when you speak about the worst times, you keep your energy there. When you sort of revel in those days, and laugh about them and joke about them and share these stories as if they're, I don't know the right word, but the message is just be careful, because it will trap your energy there. There's nothing wrong with being on rock bottom. There's nothing wrong with climbing out, of course. There's nothing wrong with anything that you've done or are doing. But if you want to rise up to your highest potential, focus on the top, not the bottom. All right. I hope you all forgive me if I hope I didn't offend anybody or upset anybody with that comment. I struggled to say any of it, if you couldn't tell. But when Spirit says just say it, I'm trusting that they know that those who are listening can handle a message. So, and I do what they say. Okay, moving on. Your future self. This is the future self you wanted, right? Just to get back in the game. 7 of Swords reversed. This is the future self that Spirit sees you in. The 9 of Pentacles. There is no better card for successful, independent, abundant lifestyle, person. Your future self is all of that and more. They're saying hold on, say that again. Spirit sees you just rising up and rising up and rising up and becoming more than you ever thought you could, more than you imagine that you might, certainly more than you're actually hoping to achieve right now. Because right now you just want to get back to where you were. But where you were isn't your highest potential. Your highest potential is beyond that, far beyond that. Where you can have everything you imagine and hope for and more. Okay. Well, let's get some more cards and see what else Spirit can tell us about your situation and your future self. Sorry about that. Clumsy hands. Okay, we have the 4 of Pentacles, the 4 of Wands reversed, the Ace of Cups reversed, and the Knight of Pentacles reversed. And we're going to pull one more. We'll go ahead and clarify the advice. I know we haven't talked about the advice yet, but we'll go ahead and get a card for it anyway right now. And 2 of Pentacles reversed. Okay. So where you are now, the Star reversed and the 4 of Pentacles. Mentioned before, it's like a fall from grace. You're feeling disappointed is what I'm getting. in how things turned out. Maybe disappointed in yourself, but remember, it's just a lesson. It's just an experience that you will get through, get beyond. But right now you're holding on a little tight to where you are. Yes, your goal is to break out of this and get back to where you were. But right now with this Four of Pentacles, you're still struggling to see your way out. So you're sort of holding onto your spot and hanging on to what you have, even though it's not what you want, but it's what you have, and you've already lost so much. Okay. Again, your goal, what you want to achieve. Seven of Swords reversed over the Four of Wands reversed. You want to get back to where you were. You want to find a new sense of stability. You're feeling very unstable. Like you don't know what will come next. Is it going to get worse or is it going to get better? Are you on the way up or are you still on the way down? You want if you lost a home during this time, first of all, I'm so sorry if you did. I can tell you I've been through some similar, I don't know your situation, but some seemingly similar experiences, and it was incredibly hard going through it, incredibly hard climbing out of it. But I wouldn't change it now, because it changes who you are. And it makes you understand others in a way that it's hard to do if you've never been there. So I do get it. I do understand, just know that. But your goal is to, get back your home, your stability, your life, your sense of community and friendships and success, to rebuild your life again. And again, what Spirit was saying needs to change. Knight of Swords reversed, Ace of Cups reversed, is to stop talking about the worst days. The days when you couldn't get out of bed. The days when, maybe substance abuse was your only friend, your only solace, maybe your only activity. I don't know. I mean, for each person, it might be a different degree of this, but let those days go and focus on turning this cup around, finding happiness, finding your joy again. And if it's just joy in the anticipation of where you're headed, which is here, then talk about that. Dream about that. Write about that in a journal. Do what you have to do. But don't reward your senses by talking about the worst days, because it just will keep you stuck there. And your future self, Nine of Pentacles. I mean, it's, again, stunning card, stunning place to end up. Over the Knight of Pentacles reversed. You will no longer be stuck. You're not going to be trapped, stuck in the mud, stuck in a hole, stuck in your life, feeling like there's no way out. You will be so far above that one day you will almost forget that you were ever there. And that's a good thing. You'll never forget it, but you'll almost forget it, meaning it won't be top of mind like it is now. And you will be so proud of yourself. I can already feel how proud Spirit is of you for getting there. You just don't know that you're there yet. Okay. The advice. We have the 9 of Swords in reverse and the 2 of Pentacles reversed. First of all, forget what people think. People think much less and less often, I would say, than we imagine they do. We imagine, that all eyes are on us, like on this card. All eyes are on us. They're watching our every move. They're scrutinizing us. They're judging us. For the most part, they're not. Because we've all made mistakes. We've all gone through hard times. Might there be somebody out there? Sure. And if there is, if they're judging you or thinking something about you, let it go. Don't focus on that. What anybody thinks does not matter. What matters is what you think. And you can think the best if you choose to. So choose to think the best. And then with the 2 of Pentacles reversed, Spirit wants you to let go. Stop trying to hang on. Don't try to hang on to the past while you juggle the future. You can't do it. Let go. Drop the pentacles, drop the balls, drop it. Whatever you're trying to carry with you. Just let it all fall to the ground and start moving forward, because your future is so, so incredible and beautiful. Wow. Okay. So let's talk about your oracle cards. Your first card here, centering. It's about you finding balance, number 1. The fact that it's a mirror also says that this is a time when you're going to have to face yourself, look yourself in the mirror, face your own truth. And not in a bad way. Like, you see this fairy, she's got flowers, she's sort of kind of hugging herself. It's about loving yourself, but seeing the truth and acknowledging it and finding some balance with where you are. Spirit's also saying, again, to let go of the past. Just like when you look in a mirror, you can see a reflection of something, but it isn't real. Okay. Then we have Fairy of the Divine Hand, intoxication, distorted view, overindulgence. What they're pointing out on this card, obviously there's the obvious message, but they're also pointing out her hand over her eye as if she's trying to not see, but she could see anyway, right? You can see the possibilities. You can see where life could take you. Don't shut yourself off from it, because it's there waiting for you. Anything else on that card, Spirit? And then lastly, we have this card. It says weaving flowers. Spirit is wanting to remind you that everything is connected. So if you look at her, she's got, all these petals that have just fallen off the flower, right? seemingly useless, if they're no longer on the stem. And yet she's weaving them into this beautiful like tapestry and these strings that are connected to we don't know what, but they're all connected. You can take your situation that may feel like a pile of dying petals that have fallen off the flower, stitch them into a new beginning for yourself. Create something beautiful out of what you have been through. Turn your weakness into a superpower. Turn your hardship into your biggest triumph. All right, group 3. Whew. This was a intense reading. It's a little challenging for me to say some of these things that I had to speak of. So please be kind in the comments if you disagree with anything I said, because it's all coming to me from spirit, and it's all meant in a spirit of love. I promise you. But thank you so much for being here. I'm sending you lots of love and encouragement and courage and reinforcement. And you've got this. Your future is beautiful. I've seen a glimpse of it. I hope you have too. And I hope it helps you get there. All right. Thanks, group 3. Bye-bye.